welcome back to Vocal Workout. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about, maybe more than a little bit, about these, again, vocal exercises. There are vocal exercises for different purposes. There are the vocal exercises that we have in our channel, which are mechanical vocal exercises or vocal exercises for the mechanical part of the voice. I want to talk about the warm up exercises because over the years I found out that a lot of singers they warm up a lot before performing anything, and most of the times they just do exercises they know, but they don't know why they are doing this or those exercises. The point of warming up is to get the voice ready. So you have to think about the different parts of the voice that you need to get in control, let's say, or under control before singing. And that would be your support and the placement of the voice. Those are the two main elements. So find your support, do whatever exercises you do normally to find your support, and work a little bit in the placement to make sure they are both connected and you can start singing whatever. There is no need to spend 45 minutes warming up before you're going to sing a concert. There's a story that I like to tell my students. It's from an interview. Montserrat Caballé was interviewed and she told this story. You can find it on YouTube, it's somewhere over there. She was performing Liu in Turandot and Birgit Nilsson was performing Turandot. So here is Montserrat Caballé as a very young singer warming up in the theater in her dressing room, and suddenly she heard next door Birgit Nilsson, Miss Nilsson, going to one of those scales. And later, Montserrat Caballé asked Miss Nilsson, Miss Nilsson, you did warm up at the hotel. And Birgit Nilsson's answer was, my dear, when you're going to sing Turandot, if doing this, the voice is there, good. And if it's not, it's best not to know. So actually, Birgit Nilsson and many other famous singers I know, they do not warm up before performing an opera. And many times the first arias in the operas, they already are somehow like a warming up. Turandot, for example, a lot of it in the beginning of the aria is just piano. So carefully you just sing comfortably, not carefully. Comfortably you can sing that beginning. In questa regia orsum. That's already a warm up. Aida for tenors. Celeste Aida. That's already in a warm up sort of a way. Do you really need to warm up before? No, and after the aria, probably you are already warm up to sing whatever else. Or one of the most important parts for me and my students would be stretching. When you sing, the length of the vocal cord changes with every pitch. So if you're singing like octaves, your vocal cord will go from this length to this length in one quick movement. But if you do, for example, let's say a scale, it will go slowly from one to the other. That would be stretching, which, if you think about athletes, that is the first thing they do before doing anything. Stretching. There is no need for more. In the case of the voice, you could do your support, placement, stretching. That would be enough. Let's say another example, maybe stupid, but it's just an example. You're walking New York City and you have to cross Broadway, and suddenly the light is blinking because it's going to change from green to red, and you start running. You don't get hurt by doing that. Your body is ready for such things. Same with all the vocal apparatus. In a different level, it is different, it's not the same, it's the same, it's only an example. So, of course, you need to warm up a little bit, but again, a little bit. There is no need to spend 45 minutes warming up to sing a concert, a little band. If you're going to sing an opera, you have to be careful which opera it is. If you're going to start singing Electra uh, by Strauss, well, of course, you need to warm up a little bit. Or especially before lessons, many voice teachers, they don't even give vocal exercises to the students at the beginning of the lesson. Some do, but not all of them. Many of them, you arrive to the lesson, okay, what are you going to sing today? And you are going to start singing an aria. So, of course, for that, you need to warm up a little bit. And if your voice teacher gives you vocal exercises at the beginning of the lesson, why are you going to warm up before? You are warming up with the vocal exercises. Now, the vocal exercises we have in this channel are from the mechanical part of the voice. The mechanical part, which is something all instrumentalists do. It is difficult to explain because many instrumentalists in many instruments, this is called a method, or is called someone's school. It is just the mechanical part of the instrument, something to get certain movements, let's say, certain melodic movements, or in piano you have scales, chords, arpeggios, the different settings, and you work on those. If I'm working scales and I get to a piece that I have scale, I don't have to think about it. It's already internalized in my body because I've been doing it for a long time as a mechanical part. So I get to the piece, and when I'm doing the scale, I don't think about making the scale. I think about including that scale in the music, in the performance, in with whatever it is that I have to put, if it's part of the melody, if it's or only ornamentation, if it's only, it depends what it is, but I don't think about taka 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 ta doing the scale. And as I've seen with many singers, they do have to think about those things because they never do. Like if they do scales, it's always the major, the simple major scale. They never sing minor scales or pentatonic scales, or it's only one, and there are many scales. In the vocal exercises that we have now, the scales are simple, but there will be others that will be interesting to work on. Same with arpeggios. When they sing an arpeggio, it's always a major arpeggio. There are many of those. That's why this mechanical part I believe to be important. And historically, this has disappeared since the middle of the 19th century. All these historical data we have from the castrati that comes all the way to the middle of the 19th century, it just disappeared. Nobody does that anymore. Whereas all the instrumentalists, they keep doing it. As a pianist, as a violinist. A violinist, first thing they do, pass the bow. Just pass the bow up and down, up and down, up and down. And we are looking at them like, what are they doing? That is a mechanical part. Scales. We do scales all the time. Just sit on the piano, go up and down, up and down, up and down. And not only like this, but also different directions. This kind of work is the kind of work that singers stopped doing since the middle of the 19th century. In 1830, a castrato moved from Italy to London, and it is recorded. It's a book. I can give you the reference if you want. I wrote an article including that reference. This castrato started, and I believe it to be the first recorded castrato doing that, started teaching according to the skills of the student. Let's say, for example, a singer that has, for him, for her, it's easy to sing ornamentation. All the areas that person will study will have ornamentation. Not necessarily only from the Baroque period, because the ornamentation goes farther, but it will go, her studies always in that direction. If a singer has ease to sing, let's say, high notes and know the low notes, most of the repertoire of that person will include high notes. And they will concentrate very much from the beginning on certain repertoire. With a mechanical training, that person will be ready to sing everything. Everything from the Baroque to the 21st century. All of it. Of course, you have to be careful in choosing your repertoire, but more than that is having a teacher or a vocal coach that actually knows a lot of repertoire, so they can choose appropriate repertoire for you, but not only according to your skills. It's okay to have the skills. It's very good to have the skills, but working only on your skills or the repertoire that feeds your skills will limitate your performances perspectives. Like, you will only be able to sing that kind of repertoire. And of course, I understand, especially since the Germans created this Fach, which I will say now I do not agree to that, because I will explain this. You cannot classify the voice in that way. The same way you cannot classify humans in such way. Humans you can divide in races. Black people, Asian, Caucasian, you can divide in such general way, but not in the way the Fach does it. And that is very simple. The voice is part of the human body. So the diversity of the voice, it's equal to the diversity of human beings. Meaning, me and any other person is going to be different. Me, I am unique as you are unique, and anybody else is unique. And your voice is exactly the same. It's unique. It cannot be classified in such a way. Your voice is unique, and you have to find the repertoire for your voice. That's why the most important part is to find someone, voice teacher or vocal coach, who will know a lot of repertoire, will know voices, will know your voice, and will give you repertoire for your voice. In the bel canto period, what we call still nowadays bel canto period, Donizetti, Rossini, Bellini, Mayer, Paer, all of these people. If you see at the manuscripts, I've done transcriptions of many manuscripts, so you can see. If you get the manuscript, you see what they write. They don't write soprano, they don't write mezzo, they don't write spinto, they don't write any of that. Just the name of the character. That's it, that's it, that's it, that's it, that's it, that's it. You look at the music, and if it fits you, sing it. Besides, most of them from this period on, especially, uh, composers write for specific persons. I was going to say voices, but not persons. They write for that person, that particular person, knowing what that person can sing, knowing the voice of that person. They can write for that voice. Besides, most of them, they were singers themselves, composers. Well, not singers, but they did study singing. Rossini was studying with castrato. Mozart was singing the alto part when he was writing this Requiem. He was studying with a castrato. Also Bellini and Donizetti, they did study with castratos. I mean, and that's recorded history. It's not. I can give you the references if you want to look at it. So the classification of the voice, it's extremely difficult because each voice is unique. You must develop the full potential of your voice. You have to stretch up as much as possible, stretch down as much possible. You have to work on strength, you have to work on endurance, you have to work on coloratura, ornamentation, languages. The point of this channel is to help you develop your voice, not stretching up and down, no languages, but in most aspects or most things you are going to find in any score. You can choose, you can take the individual exercises if they are good for you as a warming up if you want, but the best would be to get the routines that will work on several aspects of the voice and do them every day, every day, every day, every day. And I can assure you, if you do this daily, which you should do daily, in less than a month, you will notice the difference, guaranteed. So keep working. See you soon.